If you're an opera lover, you know the name as well as the back of your hand. Giacomo Puccini, composer of some of the world's most popular operas. La Bohème, Madama Butterfly, Tosca, Turandot. You're sure to find one or more playing almost every season, wherever your opera house may be. Yet one of Puccini's operas went AWOL, missing from the world's opera stages for half a century. It's La Rondine, or The Swallow, which you'll be pleased to know is now back in favor again, and happily being shown this very weekend by Opera Santa Barbara. But why was this jewel of a Puccini work ignored for so long? The answer lies in its history. In 1913, at the height of his fame, Vienna asked Puccini to do something very different. They wanted him to write an operetta, a lighter, a more frivolous entertainment with lots of dialogue and comic turns. Surprisingly, Puccini agreed. Perhaps he was inspired by the success of rival Richard Strauss's Rosenkavalier. And he quickly got to work. He wrote a friend, "I have every desire to laugh and to make other people laugh." But there was a hitch, an operatically dark one. By the time he finished in 1916, Europe was at war. Italy had joined the alliance against Austria-Hungary, and a premiere by an Italian composer in Vienna was impossible. Instead, La Rondine, Puccini's would-be operetta, was unveiled a year later out of the Viennese limelight in neutral Monte Carlo. With Puccini's favorite soprano in the lead role of Magda and lots of delicious tunes, waltzes, tangos, even a foxtrot, Puccini seemed to have another smash. Lots of people loved it, but there were also naysayers. Puccini's Italian publisher brushed it off as bad Lehar, too fluffy. Puccini himself was never happy with the ending. Does Magda, a kept woman, go off with her young lover, or does she return unhappily to her older, stuffy sugar daddy? Puccini struggled with 3 different versions and unhappily died before settling on any one of them. After the war, Europe's opera houses performed La Rondine intermittently. It didn't show up at the Met until 1928 and stayed around only 2 more seasons, largely propelled by the honey-voiced tenor Beniamino Gigli. But the world had changed by then. Depression swept across Europe and America. For many, the likeness of La Rondine's Belle Epoque world of courtesans, frivolous balls, and midnight infatuations was dismissed as frivolous escapism, far less gripping than Puccini's Butterfly or Tosca. La Rondine was largely forgotten. Even some of the archival copies of the score were lost in Allied bombings during the war. Now, Puccini's opera/operetta is back with us again, even in showcase houses like the Met, which revived it in 2008 for the worldwide celebration of the 150th anniversary of Puccini's birth, after an absence of 82 years. And why not? La Rondine's music is lovely. Did Puccini ever write a bad tune? Its most famous aria, Doretta's Dream, comes early in Act 1. This is followed by Act 2's raucous cabaret scene with Ruggiero's soaring toast to Magda, "I drink to your fresh smile," which some say is perhaps the single most gorgeous melody Puccini ever wrote. And of course, in Act 3, Magda's farewell duet tugs the heart as Magda, like her namesake bird, the swallow, flies to her destiny, not with Tosca's explosive leaf off the parapets of Castel San Angelo's or Mimi's slow demise in the garrets of Paris, but a jewel in its own right. Unlike Puccini's other heroines, Magda has a modern sensibility. She's a woman who determines her own destiny. Opera or operetta, La Rondine remains music for our times. Don't you miss it. Don't let it go AWOL this time around. Catch La Rondine at the Granada this weekend.